My favorite Tonga meal, uh, something we call lucipi, which is just lamb cooked in coconut milk, mixed veggies, and then we wrap it in taro leaves, and then we'll steam it. And then my other one is corned beef and rice. Yeah.
Staple.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You were also just kind of breaking it down off microphone, the difference between Polynesian and Tongan and
Hmm.
Hawaiian. Can you kind of explain to us? I feel like that's something that a lot of people are ignorant on. They don't really
Yeah.
know the exact difference.
Nah. So really, the main difference is kind of like where we're at in the South Pacifics. So we're all we're in between New Zealand and California in the Pacific Ocean, way down south. There's Hawaii, there's Samoa, and then there's Tonga, and my family's from Tonga, and we're all Polynesian, but the difference is well within the islands, and then just like I was telling, sorry, I forgot your name, but just like I was telling him, I kind of related to um, how Asia is. They're all Asian, but they're more specific. They're Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and those are their differences.
Sione, did you do anything fun for spring break?
I did. Spring break was very fun. It was also very tiring. We went to we went down to South Padre and then traveled up to Corpus Christi and spent a couple days in Port Aransas with some of my teammates and my brother down from UTEP.
Who are some of your teammates that were?
It was Alex Castilla, it was Durham Harris, and then it was Jamil Jeter.
It's the last spring break, so you had to do it right, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, I've never been to South Padre, and I feel like that's kind of like a staple for every college student, especially if you're in Texas, to hit up South Padre, and I never got to do it. And then so we didn't want to travel far, and so we just went ahead and did the drive.
We'll do it once, just once.
Yeah, no, definitely just went. South Padre was, and I was telling my brother and some of the guys, I was like, I should have did Padre a couple years ago because I feel too old for all this. Definitely outdated. I feel long overdue, but it was a fun time, good to experience.
Something that Coach Spav talked about was usually this is one of the worst practices of the year because everybody's kind of still coming back from spring break.
Mm-hmm.
He said today actually went pretty well. What do you feel like was the difference for the team?
I feel like because kind of like, and I heard you guys talking about it with London, was the buy-in from the players, and also everybody knew what they were going to come back to. Everybody knew that reality was going to hit them, and so I feel like the coaches set us up for success. Sunday we came, we ran out all of the fun that we had over spring break. Monday we lifted, then and then today back to business. Everybody was mentally prepared as much as they could be. I know we had to knock off some rust, but I feel like it was in that sense of maturing as a team. I feel it was more mental than physical, just mentally preparing yourself, knowing that you gotta, you still have a purpose to serve once you come back.
And you participated in the senior day activities, like it was going to be your last season as a Bobcat, but then you've chosen to come back. Obviously, you're here in spring ball.
Yeah.
What went into that decision? What was a big factor in your mind being like, I want to come back and be a Bobcat?
So the reason why I participated in senior day was because, I hadn't made my decision yet. I had a conversation earlier that week with Coach Gamble and Coach Spav, and I told him I was going to participate, but I told him, I'd rather be safe rather than sorry, not participate in senior day, and then I end up deciding not to come back for another year. So I went ahead, participated, and even during the ceremony, I kind of felt like I was like, with it just didn't feel right. I don't know. It didn't feel like my time. But what went into the decision was talking with my parents, and then after I talked to my parents, they told me that they would support me whether I decided to move on or play another year, and also the type of season I was having. I progressed as a football player, mentally and physically. I was in a better state of mind, and so that played a lot into it as well. I know if you're not mentally right to do something, you probably shouldn't do it. Um, and then finally, talking with my coaches, my biggest influence was actually Coach Hamilton. I know he's on the opposite side of the ball, but he's kind of taken me under his wing and kind of taken care of me, and he's a source that I can go and talk to. And so I had a long talk with him, and I talked to Coach Gamble, and Coach Gamble's been a great mentor ever since he's been here as well. Kind of just went up the chain of command and talked to Coach Spav, and I gave him the head nod, told him I was going to come back.
Yes. Coach Spav said that you kind of played it like you weren't going to come back. You were kind of down and you were going to be disappointed. Tell us about how you coached your decision.
So it was they kind of asked me at the beginning of the season, and I told them, I was like, if I have to make a decision right now, I'm not going to come back, just because once again, I mean, mentally I was kind of all over the place. Coach changed, Coach Mack left, Coach Gamble came in. There was a lot of moving parts, learning a new defense, and so I was like, this is too much. Why would I want to come back and stress myself out even more? But I told myself I'm gonna finish what I started. Went ahead, went through the season, and like I said, the season that I was having, my switch kind of flipped after the South Alabama game, and then I kind of just made incremental progress throughout the season, and I finished on a good note. And with the opportunity to come back, wanted to progress even more, see what I got left in the tank.
Do you feel like you're one of the leaders now on this defense, given how much experience you have? You're one of the more experienced guys, especially at Texas State, and on your 6th year overall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like more guys are turning to you and they need advice or guidance?
I definitely feel like I've filled into that role just based off age and experience, like you said. But no matter how old you are, leadership has to be earned from your teammates, and I feel like I did that during the season last year. And so just coming into the 7th year, I definitely feel more comfortable being around these teammates. I know my first year here, I mean, I was recruited for that role, but once again, you got to earn it. They don't really know you your first year here. You still got to prove yourself. Second year, I had to prove myself from the second year because the first year had a lot of bumps and bruises, ups and downs. And then so coming into this third year, I feel like I've finally earned it from my teammates, from my coaches, and once again with my experience. But I feel like even though I have a lot more experience, I feel like it comes from earning it.
So, I think Coach Spav said this is your 6th spring camp in your career. Tell us, what are some of the things that you're trying to improve on with so much experience under your belt?
Something I'm trying to improve on is, my overall game, but really the difference from the previous springs and this spring is my health, trying to stay healthy. And I know, if I'm healthy, I'll be able to play longer, stuff like that. But I'm not standing up here like I don't have a lot of stuff to work on. It's just I really got too much to work on in such short amount of time. But yeah, just my overall game. Just want to be the best linebacker that I possibly can in all aspects of that game. But just trying to keep my mental and my physical health strong.
Something we were talking about with the coaches is the radio communication from the sideline to the helmet, and they might start instituting that for quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel about that as having that as a linebacker, as a middle linebacker specifically, where you have the coach in your ear? Would you like that? Would you think it was a nuisance, or what would you think?
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I have been pretty good with communicating from the coach from on the field. I can, thank God I got 20/20 vision. I can see the sidelines, and I can see Coach Spav. I don't have a problem, and so, that'd be cool maybe to try it out during practice. I'm open to it, but if I mess up, I don't want to hear nothing in my headset. It might mess up my game. But no, I mean, like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Do you think it gives an advantage to the offenses as a defensive player? Do you not like that aspect of it?
Well, since you just told me about this, I didn't really get a chance to think about that. That is a good point. I feel like it would give the offense an advantage, especially during tempo. Like if a team is trying to up-tempo us, they just get the call, they can go. So I guess if we want to match that advantage, I guess we would have to. But yeah.
We talked to London a little bit about him switching to inside linebacker. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen out of him so far and how he's made that transition.
Man, London's such a goofball. I love London. He's just a little quick backstory. He's one of the first guys to accept me when I first transferred here at Texas State, and he's been one of my best friends here. So having him in the same room as me is comforting. He definitely pushes me to be the best, and he knows I'm gonna push him to be the best. But what I see out of him is someone so eager to learn. He's always he's like a sponge trying to absorb as much information as possible. And I know he has pure intent whenever he's out in the field, especially when he's in the meeting rooms, trying to take as much as he can from Coach Gamble and translate it to the field. So he's a very coachable player. He's extremely athletic. He just has to put his mind and his body in the same spot.